Well, good afternoon again, part 2. We're back at the hop picking shed now. Now, the chap's going to take me round and explain everything to us. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. It'd be handy if you would. We'll think about it anyway. And history in the making. Well, not in the making. Nearly finished now, so let's documentary it, eh? Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we?
Good afternoon.
Alright.
And who are we talking to now?
Noah.
Noah?
Yeah.
And you've worked on the farm for?
22 years.
Really? Are you a family member or you're
No,
just a grafter?
Skippity, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to take me round, are you?
Well, I'll take you up there, but your lens might steam up a bit.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We can go for that. Come on in, Noah. Let's have a quick look. Oh, you're doing your shoelaces now.
Yeah. Go upstairs.
Yep.
You'll feel the heat when you come up here.
Yeah, we can't get on camera though, Noah, unfortunately.
No. We go up the other end.
Yep.
Find these, stay in the middle. Don't put your hands in. The steam is the reek off the ox.
Okay.
You know, the moisture.
Yeah, the moisture
Yeah.
coming up the rocks.
Yeah.
Yep. Now tell me, this is where the pits are?
Yeah, they're picked in the picker machine,
Alright.
and then they come through into here.
Sorry, no, you're going to have to shout.
Oh right, okay, yeah. So they come into here from the picker machine,
Yep,
and then they work their way up the elevators,
yep.
along here,
Along the top.
yeah, on the top of here,
Yep.
onto there, look.
Okay. And they drop down.
Get down
the
onto
band
there,
now.
yeah, and then they go along.
Now I can see him dropping down there.
There,
Noah.
they drop down onto there, which is called a levelling valve.
A levelling belt.
Yeah. And, I mean, you can't see it in action at the moment. If you come round this side,
Yep.
you can see what happens is when this gets built up to that board,
Yep.
right, the ox can't go no further down this way, so they work their way along,
Okay.
right, and underneath that motor up there's a magic eye,
Right.
and when it gets blocked,
As we go
Hang on.
down.
that's the steam doing that.
Okay.
It's got on the magic eye.
Okay.
So it thinks it's hops, but it's not.
So you're the man to talk to about
So,
this, isn't it?
yeah, so
anyway, you were saying, so it levels it off with a magic eye.
Yeah, well you look in these kilns, look, that's
Oh,
all
right.
done automatically.
Oh, you haven't got to get near at
I
all.
haven't been in there at all. It
That's-
starts from that side
Yeah.
and, you know, works off as a lump like that down there,
Yeah.
and then builds across,
Yeah.
and then when the magic eye senses the ox are there,
Yeah.
it moves forward and they drop down, and then it
Okay.
starts again.
And so the heat comes from the underneath.
At the moment, yeah, if you go round the back, you can, I'll take you round there
Yeah.
in a minute, yeah.
And it dries hot.
It's blowing hot air,
Okay.
diesel fired.
Right, not the old-fashioned coal.
No,
Right,
I don't
okay.
think any of that. I mean,
So-
I can remember big lumps of coal like that.
Really?
Yeah.
They just put sulphur on it or something.
That
didn't
used to, yeah, but they don't.
What was the sulphur for?
I'm not sure actually, but you couldn't go in the host when that was alight. You used to put it in a dish,
Yeah.
put meths on it, and set it alight, and then get out quick. Because you
Really?
couldn't go in the host because you wouldn't be able to breathe.
No. I find it hard to breathe up there with the heat.
It is hot, isn't it?
It is hot. So as we work down, do they dry off and you can see the different colours? Can you?
No, you'll only see different colours if they're wet. In the mornings,
Yeah.
there'll be you know, like a light browny colour.
Really? So
Yeah.
they stay this green colour, do they, when they're dry?
Well, I'll show you in a minute down there.
Yeah.
I have to take these off because I can't see
The
now.
steam. So how many pits you got? You got 1, 2, 3,
There's
4,
five.
5 pits.
There's three, I don't know what you call them, bins I suppose,
Yeah.
the same size. Then you've got a 3/4 and a half.
Okay.
Anyway, so you've got choice at the end of the day,
Oh,
you
so
know.
yeah, if you've got
So-
a few left over,
You could go in a small one, like we are today. Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Now you've been around hops many years, have
Oh
you?
yeah, I've been round ops for about 40 odd years
Really,
now.
Kent hops, obviously.
Yeah.
And have you enjoyed your time?
Oh yeah.
And when did you used to do the stringing and
Yeah, I've done the stringing, op training and
Really?
all that, yeah.
Sorry, my camera was just about steaming up. I think it's always the light coming from the top.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, if we go up like that, it's not
Yeah.
too bad. So you've done a good job in the garden.
Yeah. This button here will start 5 different belts. One along there, then this one, then that one, then that one. Then I'm going to start them up along there, look.
Mission control, eh? No?
Yeah.
Mission control.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Right, we
I
go
see you downstairs.
Yeah, we go down this way.
Right, we're back with Noah downstairs. So once the hops are dried then, Noah?
Yeah. Once they're dried, we lift the flaps up,
Yeah.
and then that green sheet is actually all the way back.
Oh, okay.
They're called kilns.
Yeah.
Right. They're all the way back on the floor, and there's motors up here. Look. A motor up there that goes really slow, and that brings that across gradually this way.
Gotcha.
And they come off onto this conveyor.
Yeah.
I mean, you're unlucky because I finished pressing, so but it comes along here,
Yeah.
up there, look,
Yeah.
and then into this press. With this variety, six pressings is 60 kilos.
And that is the standard weight, is it?
For these bales, yeah, like those, 60 kilos.
It's not the old-fashioned hot pockets, is it?
No, the old one. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and you hand stitched them together, didn't you? Back
yeah,
in the
that's
day?
right, yeah.
But the good thing about it now, I don't know if you know, put the names on the farms that are printed on the pockets. You know?
But when they loaded them on the lorries, I don't know if you realised, the farmers didn't want them to have the names advertised.
Oh, really?
They had to have the names inwards, so they couldn't see where they came from.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
That was going to be my next question. Why number?
I don't know. I never knew why.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
So have you always done the hops on this farm only then?
No, I used to work over Richard Piper's at Hawkers.
Okay.
Yeah, I was over there for 4.5 years in the host over there.
Yeah.
The old-fashioned way that was, in the kilns.
The roundels.
Yeah, the roundels. Yeah.
And you used to do it all by hand.
Yeah, in pokes, and then press it by hand, you know.
Oh, those were the days.
Yeah.
Probably hard work now, wasn't it?
Oh, it was, yeah. This is easier, but it's still time consuming.
Yeah.
You know.
But this one man doing this. I mean, if you go.
Yeah,
back,
I'm in here most of the time, all on my own.
Yeah. Normally, I mean, going back, it's probably about 30 of you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, going backwards. So we put it in the hot pockets, as I know, but they're bales now, aren't they? Let's come round the other side to the sun.
There's actually some hops in there.
Right. Oh yeah. All fully dried, are they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Oh yes, they.
See, there's about, I don't know, about 95% moisture gone out of there. Or
So
else
is there a moisture that you must get them to?
it's, well, no, it's just, it's time, right? You know, you just know.
It's in your ring.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, though, isn't it?
Because if you don't get enough moisture out of them, they heat up and they go mouldy in the bale.
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying.
That's why we've got to take, because these can last up to 10 years.
And they tell me, I don't know if it's true or not, but they tell me you don't have no mice problems, I reckon. Because they're not edible, are they?
No.
So that's a great thing to have hot garden. You don't not infested by mice.
So do you want to go have a look at the burners?
Yeah. Let's go look at the burners. Noah. We're following Noah around now. He's going to show us everything goes on.
This is where I sleep. This is called a bunkhouse.
No.
Yeah, it is. Look, go and have a look. It's a bunkhouse.
So during harvest time,
I sleep in here.
you done what? 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
You're on site.
Fridge, TV, cooker.
Where's your beers?
In the fridge. Keep it up. Yeah, nice.
Do you know, it's do you know what? It's history though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Because
Every house had a bunkhouse.
of course, because you can't just shut the burners down.
Oh no.
You have to have them running.
Yeah.
Oh mate, you're full of history. That's fantastic, and I love it. I'm sure the viewers will appreciate that.
I'll show you this on the way back. Feel the air being sucked in there.
Okay.
Because we've got 5 kilns up there, we've got 5 burners.
Right.
And I put it on high flame. So what happens? You set it at a certain temperature. You set it at a certain temperature, 140 degrees, and then it goes high, low, to keep that more or less constant 140 degrees.
And that's why you've got to be here 24 hours a day.
Yeah, because they do go out sometimes.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's looks like it's burning money.
Yeah, it is diesel. Yeah, it's not cheap diesel, is it? No.
What a great setup though, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, even the old diesel burners, they're history, isn't they? You know.
Oh yeah.
It's not many, it's only about 40 left in the country.
Yeah, I know. Other countries use gas.
Oh, okay.
Gas is more economical. I don't know about now over here, is it? At the moment.
No, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, well I've got something else to
Have
do.
you? We went Noah every time. I'm sorry, Lisa.
Obviously in that big drum there is a big fan.
Yeah.
That's blowing the air into that space. Yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
You come round here.
You've got something out of the fridge now. This looks a bit magical now.
Not drugs. every number 5, we take 3 samples out.
Okay. Sorry, I'm looking. Can we go in the shade a bit more?
Yes. Yeah.
Right, you're saying now, what are you doing?
Each number 5 bale,
Yeah.
we take 3 samples out. 1 for the hop factor,
Yeah.
and 2 for the buyer,
Yeah.
you know, to see. And they're in there. And they take these out and just put them on a table, and they can see the quality of the hops.
And you give them to the hop distributor.
They come and collect them, yeah.
And do you get a price for different values?
These are about more or less equal. They're about £500 a bale.
Really?
Yeah.
And what a few guys, obviously not as many as you normally have, because normally
no,
you have more gardens today.
Yeah, yeah.
But because of the magic word COVID this
Yeah,
year,
yeah,
we
I
haven't
know.
done much at all.
No.
Well, I can't shake your hands because
No,
of COVID, but
that's all
we're
right.
fist
We can
pump,
do that.
and I appreciate your time.
That's all
Thanks
right.
ever so much. No,
Okay.
Ian. Now, it's your family hop garden, I understand.
Yeah, I'm the 6th generation of Tipples family.
And you're going to carry it on, are you?
We'll carry on as long as we can, yeah.
We're not selling it off resin or anything like that?
No, not yet.
And your mum was telling me about that you've not grown all your hops this year because of the COVID.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Well, with the breweries being shut, we've struggled for sales this year due to an oversupply last year of contracts. So we're hopefully the market will pick up again in the next couple of years.
Okay, and you've got sons or daughters to take over from you, have you?
Only 2 young daughters so far, but you know, hopefully one of them will be interested in farming.
Yeah, I mean this part of Kent was renowned for hops, wasn't it? But unfortunately, there's not many of you about left, is there really?
No, we've been doing it here since the mid 1800s, so
oh really?
We've been on this farm for a long time and hope to carry it on as long as we can.
That's fantastic to hear, isn't it? Because you know, just knowing what these gardens are going to carry on and the history you've got in your sheds there will carry on with you as well. I do appreciate it, and I hope you don't mind me walking around and perhaps not upsetting your supervisor anymore. But
that's alright, yeah.
Tell me the waste pile here. Nah, to me it looks like a lot of hops, but it's not. It's just chopped up pieces of old vine, is it?
Yeah, I mean that will get spread eventually once it's rotted down every 5 years or so.
And will it go in the hop garden itself?
We don't spread it back on the hop gardens to avoid any disease getting put back into the hops, so we spread it on the arable land.
Oh, you've got arable land as well.
Yeah, that helps give a bit more goodness back into the soil.
Yeah.
And clears the waste dump, as you can see it builds up quite quickly.
Organic fertiliser, isn't it?
Exactly, it is just another...
You know, it's not, you know, all these powdered fertilisers, it's proper non-chemical fertiliser. Now, I can see at the main farm you've still got the old houses, the round houses, the square houses, but now you've gone over to more modern facilities here, haven't you?
Yeah, well unfortunately about 25 years ago we did burn down the house that was here. We had an old 4-kiln house there, and there was a big fire caused by one of the burners up into the hops, but we had 55 fire engines come out to that on the one night.
Now your worker Noah is full of information, isn't he? He's great, and he was showing me his crib where he's, because you've got to have a man there 24 hours a day, haven't you, looking after the burners.
Well, they used to sleep in there overnight, but it's about 1 o'clock now and we're done, so the new system's a lot better. Got less people.
You can stop them and fire them back the next day?
They're pretty much done after 7 or 8 hours, so if we finish at 6 o'clock then they're done by 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay. And obviously the field I've just been in, how many acres was that?
From top to bottom about 5 acres. We've got nearly 50 acres if we're fully strung. This year we've grown about 60% of that.
So how many bales would that equate to roughly per 5 acre field?
Well, our best year we've done about 600 bales, 60 kilo bales. So,
and you'll pay this year? Will it pay this year or just straight even?
It'll just about cover our costs, hopefully make a tiny profit this year. But
as your mother said, that's what farming's all about though, isn't it really? One year you make a profit, the next minute you get by.
Well, being a perennial crop, you know, we can't just rub them out every time that there's no demand, so we have to keep the plant alive, and that's why we're carrying on through the hard times.
Do you change the crop? Because obviously a new plant or new varieties come along. Do you often change the crop you got?
No, so we only change if they want a new variety, which we've had very little of over the last few years. So hopefully there's 1 or 2 new interesting varieties coming onto the market soon.
Now, obviously my place now used to be owned by Peter Penwell, which is, and he went into dwarf hops. Now, is that something you would consider?
There's quite a few growers that have dwarf varieties, but they're limited on sales of those varieties. They're not necessarily the varieties that the brewers and that are interested in. So we found we're sticking with the tall hops.
Yep. More traditional style hops.
Yes, most of them are more traditional varieties. So for your cast ales, they've got some mild flavours, but there are also some of our varieties that have more aromatic and citrusy flavours.
Yep. Oh, fantastic. Alright then, I'll let you get on, and sorry to trouble you, but it's nice to document the history, isn't it? And,
yeah, well, there aren't many of us left going, so give a few people an insight into what happens on a hop farm.
Now tell me the name of the farm.
We're Hart's Heath Farm.
In Kent, obviously.
Yeah.
Thanks ever so much. Cheerio for now.
Bye. good. So this strips the hop from the vine. This is the most effective form of taking the hops from the vine. Everything falls down onto the conveyors at the bottom and gets carried along to the next stage.
Okay.
This is the lateral vector, and this takes off any hops from a bit of long branch-like lateral that gets stripped from the vine in the fluffers.
And you got a man there taking the odd bits out of it.
Yeah, if you get any vine come off the track, go into the machine, they can remove that from this section. Stop it going. The hops are dropping down to the bottom. Here we have the fan. Inside here is the fan, it takes the leaf out. The leaf gets sucked up onto the belt, taken back out. The hop is taken up onto this trigger. On this section, if you get anything flat, it'll get carried out what we call the string. See, they're going to...
I see, so it just drop off there, the
The
hops.
hops are round, so they roll down the belts, but anything flat and heavy gets carried up
To
to
waste.
right.
Then, before you go any further, there's a lot of wastage on the floor. Now, would you sweep that up?
Well, it looks like a lot now, but if you can see what we've done in the O's today, this is very minimal amount, and we don't want any contaminated bits going back in the machine, so it all gets taken out for waste at the end of the day.
Because you don't have enough ice on it, because it's not edible, is it?
No, it's not, definitely not tasty to anyone, only when it's in beer. And then this is the final belt, this is the finished sample. You can see all we're left with is hops.
And this now goes into the drying area.
This goes straight across to the O pile.
Yeah, I've seen Noah already. Now, it looks to me, from a layman, you've made all this machinery.
Some of it is a bit of original cruff and rotor bank, and then there are other parts like these strig belts that are homemade, you could say. So,
Farm engineering.
yeah, and it's all a bit of a trigger's broom because most of this was put in the 60s and parts have been replaced time and time again over the years as they wear out, but it still works, it's still going, we'll keep it going as long as we can.
I love the old clock up there as well.
Yeah, that looks right.
As they say, if it ain't broken, don't fix it.
We only fix it when it breaks.
I appreciate that. Thanks ever so much.
Come this way.
Come this way.
You have two machines in here and the waste up through the middle.
Is there a topper that chops the waste?
Yeah, that's that.
Fantastic. The topper's where?